All right. So welcome back to This Life. A thrilling Get a Vendor's venue. Get a Vendor's-based venue. And on the Sept of the Hearthfire and in Duluth, Minnesota. Though right now we are not on the Sept of the Hearthfire. Oh no. We are out in the proverbial burbs. You know, that area. Whatever the case, Charlotte still isn't using the car for all that it is bitingly cold. For one, because she needs to get it back with that window fixed, and for two, it's a little distinctive. And who knows what's following her anymore? But not having a really easy to pick out vehicle seems like a good step in the right direction. So yeah, it's frigid. But she's taken the bike. And rather than go to one of any number of places that a glasswalker might like to hide, she goes to the most high-class place possible. Charlotte will take the bike over and eventually end up in Skyripper's driveway. You know, tucking the bike, I assume there's some manner of garage or overhang or whatever, but even if there isn't, just tucking it offside out of the way in case other packmates or whatnot come in or out. Probably glancing around to see if there's even a vehicle there, because if Skyripper's not here, that would be silly. Well, off helmet.
There is no vehicle there, but you imagine Skyripper maybe got a lift or just probably walked, honestly.
I mean, knowing Skyripper, he may well have just walked. Or gotten a chauffeur. He'd probably claim it was a chauffeur.
He probably walked. You know Skyripper hates using those things.
Oh, she knows. But when he's feeling sassy, he does claim outrageous things. But yeah, she'll shrug and pull the helmet off, you know, reattach the chin strap and tuck it on the handle of the bike. You know, snag the keys out, snag her bag out of the handle bag. Her bag out of the saddlebag. Aha. And yeah, she will putter up around to the front door, probably waving at the camera if it's there. I think there was a camera. Like waves at the camera in passing and heads for the door.
Yeah, when you open the door, you'll see him in the hallway as he comes. You can guess he's probably sitting in the living room. So you see him probably standing in that doorway of the hallway.
There's like a pause for a second. There's eye contact, followed by the immediate declaration, I'm invading your house.
May I ask why?
Yes, you may. Firm nod.
Just kind of gestures with his hand. Well,
There's a faint kind of, you know, reasonably easy grin. She kind of shrugs. Well, I wanted to ask you a thing, and because I can.
shrugs.
Besides, you're cool to hang out with, and we don't do it enough. So now I'm here. The
Very
stretching
well.
thing doesn't cut it. It's not enough. Full official stretchy yoga type. Ugh.
Shrugs.
And yeah, if she's not stopped, she will just start the automated putter. Probably back towards the living room he came out of, until she hits the back of the couch. She will kick off the shoes at the door. There's habit at least. But yeah, we'll putter until she hits the couch, and then just kind of hoist herself and flop over the back. So a finger like pokes up as she tries to right herself after making it a completely undignified sprawl. I did have one actual question, actually.
Eyebrow waggle. Not eyebrow waggle. Eyebrow raise.
Ah!
No, eyebrow raise.
No, sir. Nah. She continues like hoisting herself up like, bleh. Uh, when I was in Wolf's Maw last time, I also saw a Talon there, and that was mildly alarming, waiting for an audience, which was also really weird and out of place because a lupus just sitting waiting for an audience is kind of funny looking. But Maria was talking to someone that I didn't recognize, and I'm pretty sure he was a Silverfang.
Silverfang.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a little like cresty thing. She like points onto like whatever appropriate part on like her shoulder or chest, like dunk. He had a little crusty thing, and it had like and I'm sorry, you're gonna have to help me because it was like, it had like an eagle or a hawk or something, and had these
It
little
had
symbols. And
it had a hawk and a gleaming eye.
oh yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure, unless you guys have suddenly become subtle, that it was supposed to be a gleaming eye symbol, but it had like the hawk, and he had these like
It also had a
scars.
lion and a stag intercrossed with each other as well.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
You
Be
see,
like, yeah, there was this, and there was the like heraldic lion and stag thing. And did he actually have those scars, Torna?
who?
Uh does
Yes.
Hughes face claim.
Hmm.
And he had like these um scars on his face. And she'll like gesture like roughly where she thinks they were. And were they burn scars or silver scars or
Silver scars.
ooh, yeah. So yeah, silver. And makes the gestures.
Stand up, walks over to one of the cabinets, a very rich looking cabinets, opens it,
Is it
takes out
rich
this
mahogany? I'm sorry, I
prob-
had to.
probably. He will come over with this old book and it kind of thumps down to the onto the table and he opens it and there are what you're guessing there are several crests, lines, you know what I mean?
Oh,
He'll flick through it. You see several families, several symbols. You flick, flick, flick. And you'll see then on the page, and it says House Gleaming Eye.
seems legit.
And flicks through it again, keeps flicking, and it comes up with the family known as the Von Care. And judging by the first page, Charlotte, that is old. Like the trees. Jesus.
Yeah, she like starts like sidles over to kind of get a look.
Von Care.
We're-
Originally, they have a lot of ties to Germany. They have some relations in Wolfsmaw. Not Wolfsmaw, sorry. Jake said, except the Blood Fist.
Up to the blood fist.
It's in Germany, it's a Getsept. But Silverfangs have quite prominence there. I believe that's where Leif Ulrichson is from.
I was gonna say blood fist. Okay.
The House Gleaming Eye of my tribe has primarily been known for their dealings with the Gita Fenris. In fact, one of my packmates is a Gleaming Eye.
Yeah. Yeah. The master of challenges.
He's from a different line. These are old, from Germany itself. From
Oh,
what I hear, they have been part of the family moved to America. They've taken up base in Wisconsin. From what I hear, though, the family has been under some strain.
there's like some thoughtful blinking and some processing and more processing. Okay. Okay, so he's from there? Probably?
Maybe. Perhaps he was from Germany itself.
How would someone from Gleaming Eye come all the way to Germany to talk to Maria when there's part of that
Perhaps
family like right nearby?
perhaps he was sent over there. Either way. He kind of spread his hands.
He kind of shrugs. Okay, I was just kind of curious.
I imagine they are making sure that the Gets, with the recent expansion, are keeping old familiar ties with a line or a house that has always kept them in good standing with each other.
He just kind of shrugs. Guess so.
Politics.
Yeah. Over my head stuff.
Not really. It's kind of simple. You want to make sure your friends are your friends.
Well, I mean, that part, yeah. Just more, I don't. Like, she kind of gestures to the mahogany case full of leather bound tomes. Like, kind of outside my wheelhouse. None of that's digital.
Just nods.
Okay.
The Von Kers are not the ruling family over in Wisconsin,
You're not?
Jake said.
Oh,
For the
wasn't one of them.
last number of years, the ruling family has been the Bordeaux of House Wormful.
Oh,
His hands close as he closes the tome very slowly.
was one of them the Von Cares was one of them. What was it? Was it Truthcatcher or
Hugh Von Clare, I believe, was the true catcher of the Sept, although he has abdicated under a wave of controversy from what the gossips say.
oh? Well, it's kind of just rolling thoughtfully for a second or two.
Your friend Leaf might be no more. I believe he was over there.
He was.
You would probably know more than me. I only know as a Galliard, I know the tales, but I don't know the facts.
No, true. That would have been kind of funny if I went to leave, being like, "Do you know this random silver fang I saw once?" He'd have made the startled face.
Shrugs and he sits back down slowly.
So, I might have also really just wanted someone to talk to about shit.
What's wrong?
I mean, lots of stuff is wrong.
Well, what's wrong with you?
Lots of stuff is wrong with me too. Kind of like the rest of the universe. We're all wrong together. It's awesome.
Detailed?
Um, I mean, the part I was gonna ask about, because I don't really, I don't know, maybe it was going up to Wolfsmaw out there, or just all the stuff that I got wrapped up in my head, but before I left, I felt like I knew where I stood with everyone, and now I kind of don't.
And why do you feel like that?
I don't know. I just, every time something happens, I examine it
From what
and I worry about it, and
you just had a feast celebrating your marriage.
well, yeah, and I know I'm good with the Trimbusans, and I know some of the people I'm still good with, but I kind of lost touch with people.
Then reconnect.
Kind of starts fiddling like with the edges of her like slightly too long sweater sleeves. I'm not sure how.
Stop thinking like you have to be a messiah to them.
I don't think I have to be a messiah. Just,
You do. Smile gently.
I mean, not for this. Just want to walk in and talk to people, but like Cassie and I were kind of on edge, and then everything that's happened, I mean, Abel's usually cool, but I don't know where we stand. And then this whole, I mean, stupid thing Missouri just threw me off. And I
Maybe
mean, I
you're
used
just
to just walk in and hang out.
maybe you're just overthinking things. Maybe you've let things that you shouldn't have let slip by you, and now you don't know how to value yourself anymore.
The fingers start kind of poking together. Maybe.
Come here. Open up his hands as he's sitting on the chair.
She kind of looks a little quizzical, but she pretty reasonably compliantly just hops up and comes over. We'll
Sit
even
down.
reach out to take the hands if he's like holding them that way.
Mm-hmm. Sit down. Like taps at his knee.
Really? It's a
Sit
little bit
down.
of a grin, but yeah.
He watches you. You've been letting people take advantage of your kindness for a long time. And yes, you want to help, and yes, you want to change. That's more than admirable. But you've never known how to draw the line between that. Now that the lines are finally emerging for yourself, you don't know what to do with them. And that's okay. You're not disconnected. You're finally starting to realize a few things with yourself, and now you feel as if things, if you try to change them, you lose the things you used to have. And again, that's okay. That's part of change and a part of life. But we take those first steps in because otherwise we'll just be forever stagnant. Sometimes change is frightening.
Just I had a plan, especially after all the stuff we talked about. I had a plan.
And from what I hear, you're doing quite admirably. Just because it didn't go the exact parameters of a specific plan does not mean that it's not a good thing.
Well, I mean, not even, I mean, that could have gone better, but it could have gone a lot worse. It's just the whole like the pack thing. I thought I had a plan, and now I'm
Be-
kind of standing at the end of a line, and the rest of it's been erased.
because one person spat back in your face, you're now going to jeopardize your plan.
I mean, you can't lead people that don't want to follow you.
One person. Has Melanthe spat back in your face?
No, but I've kind of left her
You've
hanging.
assumed.
No, I just feel bad.
But do you know for a fact?
No,
You're very good with facts.
no, I don't know for a fact. I
Then stop.
promised.
Stop. Puts a finger on her lip. Stop assuming. Because that's what you're doing. You're assuming because you've understandably had a lot on your plate and had to deal with that she's going to immediately disown you. You are putting her in the same ballpark as Alice Redmond. I think that's very unfair on Melanthe. And you.
No, I mean, is two people even a pack anymore?
It's a start. And two people's a friendship. Three is a bond. And four is a brotherhood.
Did you get that out of a book?
No.
That was really fucking smooth.
Charlotte, for the longest time I was alone. Do you think anyone wanted to be near me?
That's fair.
And then I found Christy, and we were together for a while, a long while, and then we found rides. And it was just us three. Then Mark and Lena arrived. And now Ivan. And it is us four. But I did not throw it away because people spat in my face. One person should not define what you are. And don't let it.
There's a slow nod. I think I just started trying to look at things a new way, and now I can't turn it off.
It's called change. You're not meant to turn it off. And if they can't accept that in you, they were never your friend to begin with.
There.
I believe you and the Fianna, Maria Darcy Lynch, are still very close.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much you two have changed.
A lot.
I hear also you and Leif Ulrichsen are close.
Yeah, but I even doubted those.
And yet he proved you wrong.
Yeah.
And why are you so obsessed with one person?
What?
Whatever Alice has said to you is playing on your mind, and you have not let it go. It's eating you up inside.
I don't know. I guess I just kind of started having, stress cracks in the glass when I had to tear off of Juno.
And
And
you
it
feel like the knife went too deep.
don't even. It hurt, but we've talked some. She's apologized.
And did you accept it? Or
Yeah.
did you pretend to? And try quickly stitch the pieces back together and hope to God they fit so nobody would see that you're cracking?
It just all kind of. The whole plan, the whole idea, everything I was exciting about kind of shattered into a million pieces when that was.
The second answer. So why did you accept her apology when you hadn't accepted it yourself?
I think I'm madder at myself than at her.
Interesting. If anything, it should be the opposite way around. I can understand why you would be mad at yourself too.
I mean, to be fair, I pushed her.
Stop. He says that quite firmly. It's like you're being told by. It's like Sketches just said it to you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's one of those things where it stops almost immediately. She looks a little startled. Like it doesn't shake her out of it, but it kind of startles her.
So long as you have hospitality in my house, there will be no more of that. In my house. There will be no more blaming yourself for every little bit that has gone wrong when you shouldn't. There will be no more of it. And every time you do, I will point it out and I will tell you to stop. I will not yell. I will not demean you. But I will tell you to stop.
It's a surprisingly docile little nod, like, okay. The dad voice was too real, too fast.
I get the impression that you think that pushing her made her do it.
Well, yeah.
Yes, of course, her route with Artemia could have been something different and avoided. But she still chose that action. She still chose that path. She made that conscious choice, not you. She could have told you no and walked away. There are 1,000 other options that could have happened, but it happened the way it did. And then proceeded to lash out at you. But it is not your fault that she chose those choices. Because you can't make someone do the things they do.
I guess I just kind of blame my own actions because they're the only ones I can control. It's kind of like pulling at her sleeve.
Then you must learn not to control to a point. Everyone wants control. In some level of themselves. But you must learn that sometimes control of other people will never come the way you expect it to.
I mean, I don't expect to be able to just control everything someone does, but
And sometimes you have to learn that when you present an offer, sometimes they may refuse, and you must learn to control your own outcome of what will happen next. Because they will choose something that you will not expect. 90% of the time.
yeah, they do.
So you must learn not to start whipping yourself because you made the wrong choice. In your head. When in reality, they made the choice that they were always going to make. Because they had chosen that choice.
Yeah.
This is a lesson we all have to learn.
It sucks.
It does. But stewing yourself and tormenting yourself inside out over someone that has probably not thought about it now. And does not understand the weight of it. And does not understand the weight that it has done on you. It's not their fault. You should not stew yourself over that.
Do you really still think I should make my own pack?
I believe you should make your own choice with what you want to do with your life. Whether that's join a pack, make your own, or wander alone in the world. But so long as it is your choice, that is all I care about. And it's a choice made because you have chosen it with sound mind and sound clarity.
Wouldn't it kind of change everything we talked about before?
You can still help change. You can still do many, many things. And I will still look to you and value you as a friend and an ally, no matter which road you choose.
She finally kind of gives up the ghost on being proper and just slumps over and leans into his chest. She's already sitting on his leg.
Just puts his arm on her shoulder, kind of rubbing the shoulder a bit.
How did you do all this?
What do you mean?
Just being alone and kind of wondering half the time what people really wanted.
I made a promise. And that was the only thing that kept me going most nights.
I guess so.
Thankfully, you're not me. You have plenty more than I ever did.
You know, I don't think I have it as bad as that. Didn't mean to like make light of it.
You didn't. You merely asked a question.
It's like an awkward like head rub.
I promised to avenge her honor. I swore the last time I looked into her eyes before they took her body away. I swore that I would fight my brother one last time. And that is what kept me going. That promise, that oath, to regain our honor.
Light nod. Thank you.
For what?
Or caring enough about the rest of us to wait.
I suppose I had someone, a little firefly, that convinced me. Help me remember.
There's a I mean she can't help it. It's that almost kind of kid like, yeah, I did that. Like, little smile.
Although, I do hear that someone wishes to have words with me.
Oh,
Her nephew.
kind of words.
Words among Silverfangs are many, many things. But they typically end for both of us reaching for a clave.
I really don't like it.
The young man's choice is his choice.
Is he coming here?
Who knows? I just merely heard the rumor. And worrying about that is worrying as if about the sun will come up.
I like to think the sun's pretty predictable.
I have no desire to fight him.
Who is he?
Daniel Bordeaux. An Arun, nephew to Tatiana Bordeaux. Son of Alexander Bordeaux, sept of changing seasons, North Carolina. House Wormfoe.
Oh.
I imagine he's wanting to restore his aunt's honor by either killing in an honorable duel or publicly besting me. The Oathbreaker who was responsible for her death, despite, if we want to be technical, which I would not ever say to him, Tatiana and I both broke the oath together.
It takes two.
It does. If I remember correctly. We had tried for a long time not to. Until one of the cubs died and couldn't take it. I was even a foster now at that point. Love is a very fickle thing.
Yeah.
But I'm proud of you.
You shouldn't be.
I am. I hear many things, Charlotte Sullivan. And I know someone's heart is hurting not just because of the things that Alice Redmond has said to them.
She kind of does the. I mean, he's got perception empathy for days. It's the little cover up shrug of I don't know. She knows exactly the fuck he's getting it on.
And you made the right choice no matter how hard you hurt him and yourself. Despite both of you knowing it was a bad idea, you still made the right choice. In the end, for both of you. No matter how agonizing it was.
I just, she finally gives another more honest shrug. I don't know what to do. I can't
Give.
handle knowing that just seeing me hurts.
He
that
will need
much.
time. He will need time.
How long can I possibly avoid him?
You can avoid an entire person on Sept. For many years, I've done very well with Marcel Eriksson. He leans back and smiles.
But yeah, but you want to avoid him. And you're not close to anyone close to him.
Then you must make the hard choice. And sometimes it's better when you see him, you walk out the other way, even if that means not talking.
I mean, I'm going to. I don't know. Even today, I just keep looking around, wondering if I'm keeping him from doing whatever he wants to do.
And it is his choice whether he wanted to turn up or not. Again, worry about yourself for a change, not everyone else. Otherwise, you'll find yourself going a slippery, slippery slope.
I mean, I have done one thing to try to make myself happy, but
And I do remember hearing that you were smiling at your wedding table.
I mean, yeah.
Maybe focus on that for a while. I hear he's very smitten with you.
He is.
Then focus on that. And not what you're doing to prevent him from leaving. Maybe just focus on you too.
I don't worry about Felix leaving. It's the only thing I don't worry
I
about.
mean being on Sept.
She starts kind of idly twisting the little bit of wire around her finger. I mean, I even worry, what if they want to do it here? It would practically drive them off Sept. Make it worse.
Then maybe find out what he does want. And plan it together. That way, everyone knows, and the only two people who matter about getting married know what they're doing.
I didn't actually mean him.
I know who you meant. But maybe you should not think about them for a change. Maybe you should just worry about him. Shocking, I know.
It is shocking. It's appalling, really.
Maybe you should just stop for one day. Just one.
Oh, I can't, because as soon as it gets dark, I have to go home, because otherwise And even then, I'll worry. But
Then maybe, just maybe, just maybe, close your eyes for a change. Spiral could come through this door any minute.
so that Spiral would have made a bad decision. But yeah, point.
So maybe just enjoy that what you have instead of worrying that you'll lose it.
Isn't that when the bad thing always happens in the movies?
No, it just makes you look like a overstressed individual.
Pretty sure I'm gonna have wrinkles before I hit 25. Kind of grins.
If Leonard Tribinson can manage it, I'm sure you can. Smirking. And she's 28, 29, and she still doesn't have wrinkles.
I don't know. Maybe she's bathing in the blood of virgins while we're not looking. Could be.
They would explain a lot about Lena, he says out loud, knowing that she's listening.
At the very least, she's kind of grinning.
Now, that is enough talk of politics and desperation and sadness from either of us for tonight.
It seems pretty fair.
Picks up the remote off the chair and just puts on the TV, and oddly for Charlotte, which is eerie, Scarper's asleep.
Like, almost immediately?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, she kind of...
She just sees
still leaning on him.
Yeah, she just sees the chest rise and fall very slowly. It's almost like Skyripper is working as hard as you are as Wormfoe.
Crazy, right? No, she'll just sit there and kind of push things around in her head for a minute. Because, yeah, he has a point. And her protest that he has a pack link doesn't change the fact that anything that came through the door could probably just kill him. Especially if they were smart enough to come in force, which they are. And yet here he is, sleeping on a fucking armchair.
Yep.
So yeah, she just kind of pushes that whole line of thought around in her head. Because something doesn't match up there.
Also, of note, for a man that seems so tormented, Skyripper does sleep quite peacefully.
He does.
It's actually quite adorable.
It actually really is. She actually does, like, I mean, she does just stay propped there against him for a while, like, lets him sleep, pushes thoughts around, glances up periodically, and yeah, he's just out. Sleeping like a baby.
Mm-hmm. Like in full clothes and everything. Like he probably had made tea and you can see it and he just must be exhausted, the poor fella. Because I imagine she probably saw some nights where he probably didn't sleep because he was working.
Yeah, probably.
So, just KOs.
Yeah, she'll eventually go and, like, kind of carefully pick herself up off of him. She doesn't wake him up.
Which is probably the strangest thing, because you're leaning on him, and eventually when he starts to move his hand, just idly touches like the fur of your coat or something.
It's a sweater. It's fluffy.
That's what I mean. It's it's like a pull.
Oh, he like goes to tuck her back in.
Yeah, pretty much. You figure it's again. You know how sleeping people are like.
She actually flops back down, like not hard. She just kind of leans back on him for a while because this is soothing. It's kind of like curling up next to Leaf, except that he's the one who's asleep. But yeah, she'll probably stay there for a while and even potentially doze off for a little bit, but eventually she will be making a frantic escape back to the apartment.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You just look behind you, and he's fast asleep.
Aw.
Just join in it there, Katie.
Do.